In this video, we will look at Dhammapada, chapter 9, Papavago, verses 2 and 3. That's verses 117 and 118 in the straight-through numbering. We'll look at them together because the structure of each verse is exactly the same, with just the swapping around of verbs expressed positive and negative, the na, and just a swapping around of papa and punya. So the verse 9.3 is a close reflection of verse 9.2. So I'll read them straight through, both verses without the text up and then with the text up. Papanche puriso kayira nanang kayira punam natam hi chandam kayirata dukho papassa uccayo. Punyanche puriso kayira kayira nam punam tam hi chandam kayirata sukho punyassa uccayo. Now I'll read it with the text up. There we are. Papanche puriso kayira nanang kayira punam natam hi chandang kayirata dukho papassa uccayo. And the next one. Punyanche puriso kayira nam punam tam hi chandam kayirata sukho punyassa uccayo. Right. So kayira is one of the alternative forms of the optative. We have karoti and kubbati. You can have kubbeta, but kayira it's a slightly irregular verb. It's actually regular in Sanskrit, but the way it gets transposed into Pali creates some irregularities there. Here, just bear in mind, it's the optative let one do. So the che here, this che, of course, means if. From the Sanskrit, it's chet, written in Roman script, C-E-T. In Pali, it just comes che. It's used as an enclitic, that's used only at the end of a substantive word. So, papanche puriso kayira, if a man, well, puriso is a person generally. If a man does evil, if a person does evil, the kayira rather than karoti, kayira optative, because this is a very general statement. It's not indicating a particular person doing evil. If a person does evil, it could equally be written as puriso che kayira papam. So the che, the if, can be attached to the end of any substantive word. The only condition is it can't occur at the beginning of a sentence. We could have had yedi, meaning if, at the beginning of the sentence. That word can stand free. So we could have, for example, yedi puriso papang kayira. That would have exactly the same meaning, would be equally good Pali. So, papanche puriso kayira, if a person does evil, nanang kayira punam, let him not, nakayira, like it's a negative optative, operating effectively as a negative imperative, let one not do it. Nang is an alternative form of tam. I've given you a reference here to Perniola's grammar. So let one or let him not do it. punam, again and again. Let me just show you here. Punam in Sanskrit, the word punah with visarga if it's standing on its own, but the r is part of the original root. So punar means again. It's actually cognate with the Greek word palin, which we have, for example, in a palindrome going over the same way again. So palin just means again in Greek. And we have it also in the word like palingenesis, for example, palingenesis, being born again or rebirth. So palin, punar come from that same root. So the Sanskrit for again and again is written with sandhi is punah punah. And that turns up in Pali as punam, literally just again, again, in English way, again and again. And this punar on its own frequently occurs in Pali in the form pana, kim pana, what then? So very often not with the meaning of again, but just as like what then might you say about that? Kim pana, sorry. So pana, remember the pana also comes from the Sanskrit punar, but in the phrase again and again, you see punam is normal. So nanang kayira punam, let him not do it, that is, not do the evil, punam, repeatedly. And okay, if you do something bad, don't do it repeatedly. It's like an acknowledgement of the fact that papa, that evil is going to be done, but just be very cautious about making a habit of it. Nattam hi chandam kayirata. Kairata are just alternative ways of forming the optative here. So let one not generate a chanda for it. A chanda is a desire for it. In other words, something you're constantly wanting to do. Tamhi is the locative of tam, it, tamhi, in it. So in English, we would say a desire for something. In Pali, you'd use the locative tamhi chandam karoti. He generates a desire, he makes a desire for it. So natam hi chandam kairata. So in other words, it's that feeling of something that you want to repeat again, and your chanda for it. Chanda, let me call up. This word chanda, meaning a desire for something, it's a morally neutral word. You can have the chanda you can have a kalyana chanda. You can have a chanda for living the holy life. One is encouraged to generate it. In fact, I think in the next line, don't we have it? Tamhi chandam kairata. Here you're encouraged. Let him generate a chanda. Let one generate a chanda for punya, for doing punya rather than papa. So as I say, it's a morally neutral word. Whether it's whether it's skillful or unskillful depends on the context. So natamhi, not therein, kairata, let one make, let one generate a chanda. It's a masculine noun, chando in the nominative, chandam in the accusative. So let one not generate a desire for it. Dukkho papassa uchayo. Remember that dukkha is both a noun and an adjective. As a noun, it's neuter, dukkham. As an adjective, it declines and it agrees with its noun like any normal adjective ending in a, which accounts for the dukho here. It's the uchayo is the masculine noun, uchayo, the accumulation. So the accumulation of papa, meaning here, of course, the karmic effects of the accumulation of papa. So the uchayo, the accumulation of papa, is dukkha, is leads to suffering, is painful, is causative of suffering. Uchayo, it's from the, I've done a note on this, it's from the root chi, meaning to heap up or to pile up. And ut, and it makes the verbal noun chaya, so ut chaya becomes uchaya from a t ch to a double ch, but the same in Sanskrit and Pali here. Uchaya means a heaping up, an accumulation, a piling up. We have one of the factors of enlightenment is Dhamma Vichaya. Vichaya is the opposite of Uchaya, but it here has the meaning of deconstructing and the same analyzing and therefore investigating. We have the same idea in English. We talk about t- taking something apart or unpacking it, taking apart, explaining it, looking at how it works bit by bit. That is the meaning of vichaya. So uchaya, heaping up, accumulation, vichaya, unpacking, deconstructing, taking to bits, in the sense of investigating to see what really lies behind it. So dukkho papassa uchayo, painful or with pain, having painful consequences, is the uchayo, is the accumulation of papassa, of evil. We'll look now at the next verse, which closely reflects it. Punyanche puriso kaira, kairanam punapunam, which you see like a reflecting image, but the exact opposite side of the coin of the first verse. So, if a person does punya, does good, often translated as merit, but there's more to it than that, of course. So, punyan che purisu kayera. If a person does punya, kayera nam punapunam. Let him, remember the previous words, nakaira, let him not, here expressed in positively, kaira, let him do nam, which is the same as tam, punapunam, again and again, let him repeatedly do it. So if you do it again and again. Tam hi chandam kairata, let one generate a desire. Tamhi, literally in it, a desire, let one generate a desire for it. Sukho punyassa uchayo. And this is the exact opposite of the previous one. Dukkho papassa uchayo. Painful is the accumulation of papa. And here sukho punyassa uchayo. Happy or bringing happiness is the uchayo punyassa, the accumulation of punya. So I'll read these two verses through again before we wind up this video. Papanche puriso kayira nanang kayira punapunam natam hi chandang kayirata dukkho papassa uchayo. Punyanche puriso kayira kairanam punapunam tam hi chandang kayirata sukho punyassa uchayo. And I'll do it once more. Papanche puriso kayira nanang kayira punapunam natam hi chandam kairatha dukkho papassa ucchayo. Punyanche puriso kairanam punam tamhi chandam kairatha sukho punyassa ucchayo. And that's the end of this video.